nerds, geeks, and gamers. Today we finally have back someone very special to us, and back from camping, actually. He's been gone for quite some time. Ramon,
Ooh, hey.
how have you been?
Ramon.
It's been a while. Oh.
I went to find Majora's Mask, so I've been gone for a couple months. But
Okay.
Tell me
All
how
right.
you are to
But he
see
finally
us.
got signal on his satellite dish.
right, I finally took the mask off, and it's all good. No, I've been good. You know, if anyone missed it, like I had a whole baby, or my wife had a baby. I was there for support.
Yeah.
There
Let's
for
get it
support.
right.
I am the giver of bottles, as I am called.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I've been doing that, so don't know how long I'll stick around, but I'll be considered a returning host, / guest, and all that good stuff. But I'm really happy to be back with you guys. I missed you guys, so
No,
keep it interesting. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this guy knows that I'm happy to have you back, and I'm glad you beat the allegations, man. I was always rooting for you.
Oh, man.
Wait, hold on, gulp.
There we go. Yeah, Carlos missed you the most. So, Carlos, why don't you say hi next? I know that he was really missing you here.
That was my high. Just congratulating Ramona and again,
Aw.
Yep.
beating
And
those allegations and the baby.
It's mine, I think. Still don't know.
Potentially, but you know what? It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
And then, as always, we have Raul as well.
Howdy.
All right.
And don't forget Sylvia.
Wait, who are you?
Yeah.
Me, I don't need an introduction anymore. Just like Carlos, he used to introduce us and no one knew his name.
Yeah, that's true.
But today we're actually doing something different, right? So we're not talking about any shows or movies. We're talking about 2 games this time. So The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, and then the new Pokémon game, which is the card game that came out on phone, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about both of those games. Both of them came out this year in 2024. Zelda came out in September, and then Pokemon obviously came out November 1st. So the Pokemon game already came out prior, I believe, but they just made an easier version of it, which is a lot better than the older version.
that we haven't to experience
Yeah.
by accident.
Oh my god.
So for those of for people that didn't know, there was an older app for the Pokemon game that was a lot harder, so this game is a lot better and a lot more simplified. But as always, before we kind of get into the games, why don't we kind of talk about what we've been seeing, what we've been playing, kind of what we've been doing. And since Ramon is finally back, I'm gonna have you go first.
I've
Put
been
you on the
watching.
spot.
What
I've
have you
been
done
watching.
this year?
I've been watching the top of my baby's head. That's about it. Okay, no.
The monitor.
I do tend to talk to Carlos from time to time, so he knows. So like I keep complaining about obviously taking care of a baby, not having time to watch TV. It's so dumb. Anyways, but coincidentally, around the time that we were dealing with the whole baby situation, hospital, and all that stuff, I finally caught up to My Hero Academia. I finished My Hero Academia to this point, and Raul, yes, I am sorry. I'm not gonna take it back. The first 4 seasons, still kind of. I know. Well, just because again,
Wow.
listen to me. It was hard for me to get into it because every time we talk about kids going through these little training arcs and they're having school competitions, it just doesn't grab you like Attack on Titan and all these other anime that are really about the world ending kind of crap that goes on, right? So, but anyways, once it hit the whole 4th, 5th season and it came with that freaking Yakuza, the freaking I forget his name right now, but the bird beak mask, that guy. From there on, it got crazy. Once we got to the whole Shigaraki evolving as a freaking being, insane. Probably my favorite character in any animes. Not my favorite, but one of my top favorites. So that's definitely the one enjoyment that I've gotten out of this whole time apart, away, is just that I finally got to catch up and watch My Hero Academia.
I was feeling that My Hero Academia maybe wasn't as popular as it was maybe prior seasons, but to my surprise, that movie that they released just last month, I guess it's made 220 million worldwide. Ooh. So it's man, that's a lot of money, especially for something that I thought maybe wasn't as popular anymore. So
worth watching, probably. Have you watched it?
I've seen some of them, My Hero Academia. I've seen some of them.
Yeah.
Some of them are worth checking out. Some of them really wasn't that great.
Yeah, no, I mean, I loved it. I think that once they hit the whole like out of the school type of scenario, and then it went flip real quick, where it went from like, oh look, like we're in danger by these people, and the next thing you know, it's like all the heroes are gonna go fight, and I'm just like, holy crap, like we're doing this like right now, like it just went from
and then
like
people
0
start
to 100,
dying,
100%. Yeah, I mean,
And
but like, yeah.
Well, I mean, it gets a lot into like domestic violence. It gets a lot into
Oh,
like
yeah.
racism. So it's
The
just kind of like
freaking-
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing too with the whole freaking what's it, Todoroki, like his family, like Endeavor's
Oh, yeah.
family. That's so yeah. So it's Shigaraki and Endeavor's like family arc is probably like again some of the hard hitting stuff because they both have to do with like parents being abandoned, like freaking abuse, and you know all the fun stuff that we deal with sometimes. And it's just like I don't know, it's just really captivating.
Trying to find redemption and all that stuff too.
But funny enough, Deku just kind of for me is still kind of a side character in all this. Like to me, like you know, I love when he went dark and he's kind of crawling around the city, all like, oh, don't follow me, I'm gonna lead you to your death. Like that was great to watch. But then after that, it's just you know, I love that he's fucking doing some crazy stuff. But he, to my opinion, he mastered all his like quirks too quick. Because it's just one like, poop, I know them all.
Dude, I remember I told somebody like early on, like, oh hey, Davi's gonna be part of the Todoroki family or whatever.
That was nuts.
And like they didn't believe me. They're like, no, you're out of your mind. And then that ended up being like a reveal later on. And like his story is so like cool, like Davi's story. So
dude,
the way that he just burns out, like it's crazy. It's crazy.
So My Hero Academia, good show.
I'm hearing it.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched, I mean, I was a non-believer. Believe me, you. Raul was like, you gotta watch it. You gotta look like you'll love it. And I'm like, nah,
it's probably my son's second favorite anime.
Yeah, next to Naruto.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah.
All right, he's still cool with me.
Yeah.
But outside of that, not too much. Like,
even though we haven't finished either one.
Okay, there you go. But outside of that, not too much. Like I watched some episodes of Mob Psycho, and Carlos said not to mention this, but I will finish all the new season of Love Is Blind. And then
I did too. Oh my
god! but that's for another episode. That's
an episode without me in it.
Yeah, well, we need to pull you in for another episode about that. My gosh. Between Marissa, Hannah, and Nick for that last man.
Ramon, I've never gotten like 47 notifications in my phone text-wise, and then for me to just find out it was all Love Is Blind, it's like, oh my God.
We like to text the group chat so Carlos can also experience it and not feel like a third wheel. So he gets all of the all the TikToks, all of the conversation.
And Hannah
and then sometimes they get me.
Oh my God,
Leo and then I find out it's like Love and Blind. I'm like, god damn it! Like I fell for it again.
Yeah. See, now I get why he doesn't want me to talk about it. I'm like, oh,
you open a whole can of worms.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Carlos, what about you here?
Man, so something that I just saw like in the last 2 days. So you know, during not the pandemic, but a show that I had started during the pandemic, and then eventually I did finish it and caught up with it was Hunter x Hunter. I think Ro, you love Hunter x Hunter.
I love Hunter x Hunter.
So there's I guess there's an animated movie that I wasn't aware of.
Put it on my list.
Yeah, came out in 2013. It's on Netflix. I thought it was pretty good, man. Thought it was really good. Worth checking out.
What's it about?
It's like a side story. It's a side story, and it's kind of like your My Hero Academia stuff. That probably doesn't really go with the timeline, but
a side story for Gon or for who?
I mean, both of them. It's like I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but
Killua or
I mean, they're both together, Killua and Gon, and you know, like you get all the gang in it. Everybody's in the movie, so they all get like the Naruto sort of like where everybody gets their own fight, and then leading to like the very bad guy at the end. So it's pretty cool. It's worth checking out, especially if you're a Hunter x Hunter fan. And then the last thing that I kind of watched that I kind of threw on the Discord for anybody to check out on Netflix was this movie called Don't Move. And it's about a serial killer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this serial killer like finds this woman that's about to like throw her life away because her son died when, you know, like she was supposed to like be taking care of him or looking after him. And then he just kind of ended up falling out of this cliff. So she's there to like throw her life away. And then the serial killer comes in, kind of not convinces her, but like starts talking to her and convinces her almost to like walk away and not like throw her life away. But then the guy freaking like once she's like kind of like thanking him like, oh, thank you for talking to me. Like he freaking like knocks her out and injects her with this thing that's gonna make her unable to move her body in the next 20 minutes. So the movie's about her having to escape this man, the serial killer, before the 20 minutes catch up to her, and all of a sudden she has no more movement in her body. So it was pretty good. I thought it was like very, very enjoyable. And I told you guys I had seen Trap the week before, so I think if you do Trap and Don't Move together, it's like a really good pair of serial killer movies.
It sounds like they would go well together.
Yeah, especially because you're on. I know you love Netflix stuff, Ramon. I think you would really enjoy Don't Move.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now that you mentioned it, I finally watched Deadpool and Wolverine, but I didn't want to distract from that. So, but yeah. Trap is on my list. So when you texted me, but it's just, I was like, Trap. I'm like, is this a trap? No, I know, but the way Carlos, he just texted me Trap, and I'm like, is this a trap? So I didn't know what to reply.
Oh my god, we never did The Boys.
Wait, what?
Huh?
We never talked about The Boys.
That's last season.
Oh, we did not.
No.
Yeah.
I was still kind of
You just reminded me about it, yeah.
I wonder what happened with. I think I don't know what happened.
I think we just
Ramon had a baby,
replacing it.
and then we stopped it.
Was it around
we replaced it? Yeah.
It might have been, yeah.
Because we wanted you for the episode.
No. There was,
and then we put it off, and then we forgot about it.
There you go. Well, there you go. This is still relevant. Oh no, yeah, there's still another season coming. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll still do it.
It'd be cool
at some point.
It'd be cool to do a movie to like finish. I know it lasts, the next season be the last, but I would like to see like actually have money to do like crazy stuff, especially with Homelander.
Yeah.
Sorry, it just popped in my brain. That's my bad.
No,
super relevant.
I'm gonna be screaming stuff too now that Ramon's here. Like.
And now know what it is, because
Raul, what have you been watching here?
I saw this movie that I don't remember who somebody recommended about a lake. What's it called? I forgot. Cody Lake, Cotty Lake, Potty Lake.
Yeah,
Cato Lake.
Dylan O'Brien, great actor.
Yeah. He's
it was
cool.
good, right?
Yeah, dude. It was cool. It really wasn't what you expect. It's kind of part of what you expect, but still kind of has its own weird twists. And then at the end of it, you're like, I know Sylvia was trying to figure out like what all the connections were. She's like, so this means this and this person and this and this.
This person is related to this person by this and that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like weird time travel type of weird, mysterious, supernatural type of stuff happening.
Were you ever, Sylvia, were you ever a fan of oh my god, what is that Fox show with Futurama? Were you ever a fan of Futurama at all?
I did not watch it, no.
Okay, so in that show, like the main character Fry, he ends up being his own grandpa or something like that, something crazy like that, because he ends up going back in time and having sex with his grandma that leads to him like his dad being born. So it's like,
I think I missed those episodes.
So I don't want to spoil like that movie you saw, but yeah, it's very not what I expected it to be.
Interesting. Yeah. It was a good movie though. It was a good recommendation. I know you said it just kind of on the fly, and then we all watched it that day.
Well, I know me and you have that crush for him,
I know,
yeah. So like, I know you would enjoy it.
Dylan, yeah.
I just thought the movie was cool.
They're just jealous.
Yeah.
You're not jealous.
Dylan O'Brien.
Because Carlos and Syria don't love you like Dylan.
Yeah. No. I've continued to watch Ace of Diamonds or Ace of the Diamond. So, dude, it's a long anime. It's a baseball anime. So it's the most sport anime of any sport anime I've seen. So if you're into sports animes, you'll like it. If you're not, then you won't like it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I'm hooked on that. I've been playing a lot of Call of Duty with pretty much everyone on the Discord that's played it.
Nice.
So that's been cool, and I played some League with these two people.
Wait, who's the better one in COD? Like out of the Discord people?
Well, Karina
is awesome.
Yeah,
she's so good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Omar's really good too, though.
Yeah.
Karina's like consistently good, man. And
well, I think Melvin was the one that was posting all the clips, and it was all Karina, and it was just kind of like, wait, what? Like, and I was like, okay, I'm like, aren't you supposed to be bragging about yourself? But okay, I got you. But that's awesome though. I'm jealous.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Jose always has a positive like KD ratio, but he's always kind of like towards the middle, sometimes towards the top, and like actual points. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, there's some definitely good people. I'm not one of them. I always take one for the team and make sure that I'm the last place one.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I'm not
and
consistent.
then
Like there's times where like I'm number one, and sometimes I'm just like second to last. It feels
Yeah.
like a row.
yeah. See, I see. I'm the one that's keeping him from being last. I'm getting better though. It's been a while. Well, when I lived with you, Ramon, that's pretty much all I did.
I remember. Yeah.
Black Ops 1 and 2, and then Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
yeah. So played a lot.
Single digit 2000 still.
Ramon, your original roommate.
Yeah. That and a lot of Dexter. We used to watch Dexter a lot.
Oh yeah, a ton of Dexter. Oh yeah, it was weird watching Safe House, or what was it called?
Just Safe. I think
Safe.
Yeah, just Safe. Yeah.
Yeah. It was weird because like I couldn't separate Dexter from.
Never.
Yeah. Oh, and there's gonna be a prequel, I think, of Dexter.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah,
coming out. Yeah.
Excited, but I didn't even see the last one either, though.
Trap is kind of like Dexter a little because the serial killer, he's very charming, and you kind of like in the beginning, even though you shouldn't be rooting for him, you're rooting for him. So it's almost like if they trap.
You can always fix them, so it's okay.
Okay, no, dude. I would love for you to see Trap just for the last 30 minutes and how you find out like
it's still on my list. I think that's a show or a movie that I would really enjoy for sure.
Yeah, and M. Night Shyamalan movies are they're
Watch Party.
What?
Yeah.
Watch
we've
Party.
been doing Watch Parties too.
Yeah.
Oh, Watch Party. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Again, on a day when Kiara works and I'm left with Claire. Like, Claire, you want to watch a horror movie? Let's go. It's only 3 months. She won't know.
That was Carlos telling Raul, yeah, this is a kid movie for Cabo Lake. We were like, that's not.
No,
that's funny.
I said it. I didn't think you were gonna sit your son and watch the movie with it. I thought he was gonna be like around.
What did you think the question was?
Is it child appropriate? And you're like, yeah, go ahead.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I still stand by that.
No, my son would have been freaked out.
And what? Like the girl when she's like stabbed? That's like the only
partly for one.
And there's just a lot of
my son is a scaredy cat, so yes.
I think
you were just so quick with going, yeah, it's totally fine.
I still don't see the problem. I might have to watch this movie with
something
him.
happens in the beginning that I'm like, no, he can't.
See, that's the problem. I didn't pay good attention in the beginning, and then I regretted it once it started like getting so good.
Sit your daughter down, watch the movie with her, and then let us know if it's appropriate.
Even though your daughter is younger than my son.
It's funny because she likes to, when it's scary, she likes to watch the TV through a reflection of the microwave.
Okay.
Just watch it through the reflection of the microwave.
It's better than you
That's
look
smart,
at scary like this.
Because the scary part gets filtered out. That way.
Okay.
Well, that's why you start freaking foolproof because you were like, yeah, nothing's gonna get me.
Oh god, yeah.
I didn't really watch anything except for Tower of God, so I don't really have much to
didn't you?
say.
Yeah, I'm so behind on that.
I was gonna ask you about that.
How far did you get?
I think I'm only on like 5 or 6. It's where I believe I know it's Rachel. Yeah, so it's like I believe I know it's Rachel that's like in the hood, but they're still doing like that crown game.
Fuck yeah.
So that's
I forgot about that.
What got you to watch Tower of God? How did that come to your attention?
Honestly, I think Michael and I were just gaming for a little bit, and then I told him I didn't want to like do anything else anymore, and then he was like, well, let's just watch something. And then we both saw a show that we never watched, so we just turned it on.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, because I've waited like 3 years for the second season to come back, and like, not saying it's not gonna get better, but the first like 7 episodes of the second season were so trashy in my opinion, and you'll see when you get to it if you do get to it. And then the animation style switch, Ramon, like it went from like being like beautifully hand drawn with a little bit of CGI, where like now it's just like I don't even know what I'm looking at. It just makes me sick when I look at that show.
So like Blue Lock, because Blue Lock I felt like
no. Blue Lock is different.
No, but Blue Lock is like still. But I saw someone else talking about this too. Blue Lock is like still animations, and then they shake it up. It's like, same scene. Oh, I'm running.
but the ball is spinning.
The one effect. No, I'm kidding. But I did enjoy Blue, like, you know that. It's just, when you really go back and you're like, oh, yeah, that animation was kind of crummy.
Dude, I didn't even notice it until somebody brought it up on TikTok. And then I was like, oh, duh, now I can't unsee it.
See, but so like I've heard somebody finally kind of discuss that, and I heard that they're doing like that, what you call like crappy animation, but it's them trying to be creative and seeing that they actually got a more of a bigger budget, but they're using the budget like not in a good way because it looks like crap. So I don't know.
I mean,
because there's plenty of background there that they put and all these like moving lights and flashes and stuff. But
I mean, from an artist's perspective, like crappy or trying to do like this artistic thing is usually just being lazy, unless it's really good. But like I think I might have seen the same TikTok then. But when I saw that too, it was the same thing too. I'm like, wait, that just looks like lazy animation, but it was still still a fun story because we played soccer, so you know.
Like, dude, can I just Sylvia? Can I just shout out like you should check out Ravna 1/2? It's on Netflix. It's a really good show in my opinion. Like it's a show that Ramon came out 30 years ago, and now it's
Ramon came out 30 years ago?
Yeah, Ramna 1/2 came out 30 years ago.
I felt like 9.
And now Mappa produced it or like reanimated it, the whole thing. So now it's like with newer graphics. So what's going on? What did I miss on the joke?
So every time she goes into the void, every time she like disappears into the rift right there that Noel made, she's taking shots. She's taking shots. And so you see her when she comes out, she's like, I don't know.
No, but it's really good. Ravna 1/2 on Netflix, man. Really highly recommend it. So cute and like funny and like I don't know, just very charming. From like
I'll start watching it. I'll blend it in with my Ace of the Diamonds.
Yeah.
Well, Arcane 2 is coming out. That's the one thing I'll probably go back to watch again.
Oh yeah,
because it's about a guy, Sylvia, that every time he gets wet, every time they throw cold water at him, he turns into a girl. So like you have him like living his life, and then they'll always get him wet, and then he'll all of a sudden be a girl for the good half or chunk of the episode, and then they gotta throw
fun time.
No, it's very confusing. I'm very confused because he's a very good-looking woman or girl.
I mean, okay.
Poor guy. Every time you have to take a shower, Yeah.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of hot showers because that's how you turn back to normal.
With more water?
Hot water will turn you back to normal.
It's kind of like Fire Force with the nuns.
No, and then like the dad will turn into a panda because he fell in the panda well, and then so it's just you guys gotta watch it.
What? By the way, Blue Box. I think it's called Blue Box. That one's actually pretty cool. It's the sports romance anime. It's on Netflix. The animation's like really cool. I like the style, and then the story's actually kind of catchy.
Oh, it looks cute. Okay.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah, it's kind of slice of life / sports / romance.
Nice.
Yeah, because the girl plays basketball and the dude plays Batman.
He plays Batman?
Badminton.
Oh, okay.
He plays Batman.
On that note,
wait! I seen one more thing talking about Batman. I saw the Crisis on Infinite Earths. The third movie came out, the animated one.
I've been watching those too. I gotta watch the third one. Okay,
dude, it's pretty good. It's I like the series, but the DC movies tend to be pretty good.
I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with that. So hopefully the third one puts it more in perspective.
Yeah, it will.
Okay.
It kind of tells part of the backstory of like what caused all this to happen.
Okay.
And now on that note, we're going to talk about the 2 games. We'll start off with The Legend of Zelda, I think, because that's probably going to be the more fuller conversation. So this is Echoes of Wisdom, and I haven't played any other Zelda games, so correct me if I'm incorrect at any point.
At all?
At all. This is my first one.
Like this many?
I love it.
Like zero many. The only time I ever played the only time I ever played Zelda was when I was doing Smash Bros, and then I would pick Zelda.
Not the same, but okay. I like it. That's an experience.
But is this the first time that a game has come out that is you're as Zelda?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. So basically, you're playing as Zelda, and there are these
Zelda.
Zelda,
the girl?
yeah.
The princess.
The
Yes.
princess, yes.
Yeah.
We have to
Okay.
say Raul didn't play this game, so he's.
I did not play this game.
He's
I
learning
only
right
asked
now.
questions.
Yeah.
So if he's gonna be asking questions like, "Who's Zelda? Is that the guy?"
No,
Or the
I
girl.
have played.
Absolutely.
I have played Zelda. I played like
I
Super
know you
Nintendo and Nintendo Zeldas and
Yeah.
64 Zeldas, but not any new Zeldas.
Questionable.
So in this one, there are rifts in this world, right? Which
Yeah.
you are kind of working towards eliminating those rifts and bringing back the world into kind of what it was. But the first few scenes, which I didn't play too much of the game, I think I played like 5-ish, 6-ish hours, so not too much. I just got up to the second dungeon for myself, so it was a little bit of a slower learning process to me. And I know, Carlos, I kind of mentioned to you before that this game reminded me a little bit of like Super Mario meets Kirby with the animations of it or the styles that they're doing right now. I think a lot of the other Zelda games, when I was kind of looking back at some of the Zelda games, they tend to have different types of graphics. So this was a little bit more different. And then the attack, I guess, dynamics, if that's what we can call it, they weren't necessarily of her fighting. They're more so sending out those echoes to fight. So it was definitely different from any game that I've personally played. You can turn into like a Link, right, with the sword, and you can fight a little bit, but for the most part, you're copying items that you're able to copy, and you're throwing out echoes of that copied item, essentially. But the whole preface of the game is to remove the rifts from the world, right? That's kind of what we're intending to do. I don't know what the finale is or the ending, but yes, Raul.
What are like the echoes?
So a neck
like clones.
Clone. Anytime you defeat or there's items in the game that you can make start cloning them. Like the moment you interact with them, you can start making copies of them to fight for you.
So you basically get a staff.
Like Bizarros?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you basically get a staff in the start of the game, and that staff can, if you touch that staff to an item that's glowing, obviously not every item, you can basically copy it and you have it in your inventory and you're able to throw it out. And that's kind of, whether it's a barrel, a box, you have the bed. I use the bed so much.
The bed's like the number one supreme item in the game.
The bed,
So let me explain it to Raul.
You could recover health with it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So let me explain it to Raul in a way that he'll understand. Okay, so Geto in Jujutsu Kaisen, when he beats the curse, he consumes it, and therefore he can use the curse anytime he wants.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, gotcha.
But yeah, and also the little monsters that you kill, you can end up copying them and throw them out, and then those monsters can fight the other monsters that are attacking you, type of thing. So that's kind of the preface of Zelda. And then Carlos, Ramon, I would love to hear your guys' opinions on kind of what you thought of the game, because I know it is a little bit different than compared to other Link games, and I know you two are very much Zelda fans, so I would love to hear what you two thought about it.
Ramon, as the most expert on Zelda, I would like to go first.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. Me and Ramon have a competition about like playing all the Zelda games, even though he's done a better job at some of the more newer Zelda games. Like I think I'm missing a few in between that I definitely been trying to go back, especially after I finished this game. Ramon, I did mention that I went immediately and started playing Skyward Sword. Which honestly, when you go from the Zelda to that game, it's such a difference. So I have thoughts on my experiences with both games. But no, man, you go first. Tell us what you thought about this game.
Yeah, well, it's not a competition. Carlo likes to think it is, but I'm definitely more of a hippie where I'm just like Zelda for everybody. Enjoy it is my favorite game, and it consumes a lot of like my collectibles because it's just like one of those things that like my wife plays it, my father-in-law plays it, my brother-in-law, my brother, his brother. Like it's just a game that we just all relate with and we talk about often. So, but again, it's just I think with Zelda games, you get a variety. Being a resident player of a lot of them, I think this one is along the lines of Link's Awakening with, like you were saying, Sylvia, was like a little bit more cartoonish, like cutesy animation. It's definitely meant to be more of a like kid or younger adult game because it's so simple. But I think, I still get enjoyment, even though like I love some of the darker titles previously like a lot more. I love how cutesy it was. I think the mechanics, like you were saying about like duplicating the echoes, to me, because I've played a lot of other Zeldas that you can have some other cool mechanics, this is actually one of my favorite ones. Like if they would incorporate this into like a more like, you know, like Breath of the Wild type of thing, but like duplicating, like it would be insane. Like I got so much enjoyment out of doing those little flying seed with the spike propellers. And especially because my like little what's it called, my try was like powered up so much, I had like 3 or 4 out at once. So like it was just like a freaking lawnmower killing all the enemies. So by the time I even got to like the enemy, like the game was just like effortless to me. So like I really enjoyed that. It was, at least to me, it was still something new. That even if you're a resident Zelda player, I think what they do to that mechanic is kind of cool. It's not the Zelda that I would have loved to play as. Like I think everybody would have probably loved to play as Sheik, or just kind of like go the whole ninja route. You know, I seen like him, like her, like have to be hidden, go as Sheik and execute missions, kind of like Metal Gear or something like that, you know. But yeah, like this is cool. It was cute. I adored it. I mean, I'm gonna share it with my brother and keep going because I think everyone should play it. Raul, you should play it.
Yeah. So we might get a little bit into spoilers about like Zelda in general, Sylvia, but like this game, Ramon, or anybody listening, you know, back in the day, you used to have like the Nintendo, like the Super Nintendo, the 64, but there would always be like a portable handheld device that Nintendo would also have at the same time. So this kind of reminded me back in the day, Ramon, like, you know, with the Switch, they kind of gave up on having two systems at the same time.
Yeah,
so to me, this reminded me of like, hey, we have 2 departments. We have the department that'll make, you know, your games for like the Nintendo 64 and the one that'll make the games for like your handheld devices.
Yeah.
To me, this felt more like a handheld device game that was put in the Switch because, again, like the moment I finished this game and I went to Skyward Sword, even though that game's older and it came out in HD, that one, by comparison, it just kind of like blows you away because it's more like you have a live environment and you can look up and down in the sky. There's just so much more for an older game, where this one just came out and it looked great. It was beautiful. But it was just like, it was so cutesy, and I'll talk about some of the stuff that I just thought it was like the flaws to it. Because the reason why I was able to get through this game is because I was playing it along with my daughter, and I mentioned that she was getting a blast out of watching me playing this. So every day it would be a kind of way for me to get her to do her homework, like, hey, finish up your homework, and then we'll get to play Zelda for the next 2 hours. So that's how I was able to get through this game as fast as I did. But I think under normal circumstances, like I've heard a lot of discussions on this game, and I think I understand where those complaints are coming from, because I feel like this game could have been better if they had implemented more things in the Zelda franchise. Whether you said it, you know, at some point maybe she can actually turn into Sheik. Maybe you actually got a portion of the game where you do play as Link for a good 20% of the game. But it's just something about it. I just feel like Nintendo has been doing this thing with the Zelda franchise where, you know, anytime, like I think, what was the last Zelda game that came out recently?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom before what? Link's Awakening? Or no, what was the one
Breath
before
of the
that?
Wild. Breath
of the Wild. So with Breath of the Wild,
no, but it was Link's Awakening was in the middle too. They released that one in the middle to kind of give you that, like, hey, you still got 2 more years to go. Here's something.
But you know, with Breath of the Wild, like I think my complaint with that one, that game didn't feel like it was fully finished. Because I think when, you know, the Switch came out, they were ready to be like, oh, here's this brand new Zelda game that goes along with the Switch. And to me, like Breath of the Wild never felt like it was fully completed because it felt like the world was somewhat empty. Same thing with this Zelda game. When I was playing it, I'm like, I feel like there could have been more to it. I feel like even though you eventually get up to like 160 echoes, I just feel like there could have been something more to make the game a little bit more enjoyable. And Sylvia, the part about spoilers that I want to get into as you play more Zelda game is that every Zelda game that you play, it's always meant to be like the same character but reincarnated in different times or different periods. So it's like a love story that's almost always starting all over from the beginning. So this time, Ramon, like, I know, even though I know that every game starts like that, it kind of annoyed me, the fact that as soon as I started the game, it's like, who's Link? And like, who is this warrior? And they're like, come on, couldn't they just have already have met and like somehow have had a connection? But it's always, again, you're getting the whole like, oh, I've never met this Link. Who could this be? And let me learn more about him. So that was kind of a little bit annoying for me.
Which why Tears of the Kingdom is probably one of the better games after all. And they're like even Twilight Princess, like games that also have to do with, you know, the Triforce still exists and it's always those 3, the dynamic trio, but it doesn't focus on that because like Twilight Princess was all about like Midna and the Twilight Princess, and it was a whole different story. But anyways, no, like I don't know, but like I think something to it too is that it's a cute game. I
So
think
cute.
also I this is probably the game that I played the most half asleep or asleep. I sometimes don't even know how I got somewhere because I was asleep. Because again I was playing it like after feeds and all this stuff. Anyways, long story short, I don't know. Like, yeah, I think it's still enjoyable. And I love that you watch it with your daughter. I played it with your daughter because I'm like, I could see that. Like, even my little baby once glanced at the TV, and I'm like, oh, look, this is so great. She could play this in like 5 years. But other than that, yeah, I don't.
No, and
I
she
agree.
got good about handling the controls, like summoning echoes. It was just a fact that
That's
anytime she
awesome.
would see an enemy, it would be like immediately like that. Go
Here.
get that enemy. Yeah.
Sounds like my wife.
No, but Sylvia, I'm interested in like finding out like how you felt about the controls or like the enemies you encounter, or just navigating the world in general.
It honestly, I did enjoy the game, but I feel like if I was in the range of like 8 or 12, I would have been living for this game.
Yeah.
This would have been something that I really would have loved, and I still enjoyed it. I feel like most of the games that I play currently, or the ones that I enjoy the most, have definitely a little bit more of a one-on-one fighting type of dynamic in a sense, versus where here I was just kind of sending out the echoes, and I didn't want to lose all my energy in becoming like the Link version, so I was trying not to turn into Link so much. So that was, I think, my biggest issue too. And then I was just constantly sending out snakes and all of that, but I did enjoy it in a sense of just, it was new to what I have played, but it was also similar to some of the games that I have played. So it still held on to some of the same systematics of, like I said, Mario and Kirby, but it was different in a sense of I didn't know what the story was going to be. So going in it, it was different for me to kind of experience the story. And I'll be honest, I'm not a person that likes to talk a lot in games. So I was kind of running around, and then I realized I would miss something. So I had to go all the way back. I think I missed the like potion shop at the very start that gives you like one of those hearts. And then I had to go all the way back to try and grab that. And then, so my issue is typically talking. And then I never got the smoothie aspect because you could just sleep on the bed.
Well, no, this is just like if you make
to make it for the like mission or whatever, but
when they have the special abilities like the heat resistant, cold resistant, but it's like then you use like echoes that help you with that, so it's like I don't know.
And like I think in like more newer Zelda games, you normally cook to make ingredients or dishes, and then that's they do the same thing. So I don't know if this was more of like a hey, we can't have Zelda be cooking because that's just wrong because she's a woman. So it's like, instead they chose to have this. They chose to have this guy that'll make smoothies for you.
Yo, no offense, but she needs to stay in shape to wear that like little leotard thing that they gave her. I couldn't believe that freaking dress. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like you took her out of the dress to put her in a weird little like I don't know. It was just so weird. I switched it to the cat right away, and I kept playing with the cat version.
Well, I switched from, so eventually you get a cat that's a cat outfit that lets you talk to cats, Sylvia, so you probably would enjoy that.
I would have, yeah.
Because then the cats are very snarky with what they have to say.
Oh, those cats.
I love them.
Yeah. But Ramon, I felt like my defense was like weaker as the cat. So I always kept going back to the Zelda like traditional outfit, even though I was going to ask you like, I was only able to get 3 outfits, and that's something that was upsetting me because I'm like, I want to be able to dress her up like in 20 different outfits, like depending on my mood.
So the rest exists in amiibos.
Oh my god!
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, I can tell you, but it's just like it's like a different colored cat, like some Link outfits, and then I think a different colored dress. So it's not even nothing crazy. It's 3 colors. And then you get the Link's red cap and the Link's blue cap, I think. But yeah, I mean, like, this is one game, like, not that I always play with amiibos, but with Zelda, like, I have, like the cards with, like, all 60-something of them. And I always love to see what they do in different games. With this game, I didn't even mess with the amiibos until I was done with it. Because I know it was going to be so easy that I was like, there's no need to, like, use anything. Like, I don't need supplies. I don't need something. Now, in like Tears from the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, which I want to talk to you about, Sylvia, because you need to play those games. But it's like that's different. Like when I had amiibos, not that I needed them, but it was always fun to like get the like ancient materials out of the amiibos. So it's like so it's even to that regard, like there's nothing to it that's like hard. I think it's just fun. It's fun and creative. Yeah. I love that you just like the way that we passed it is probably a little different based on what we use, because like it's just
So my understanding, because I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom, but I went through every review video that I could. I've listened to podcasts talk about Tears of the Kingdom. So even though it's a game that I haven't checked out at this point, Ramon, but I think now after I finish Skyward Sword, like that's definitely gonna be the next thing that I hit. I think you might enjoy that game, Sylvia, because to my understanding, that game has so much building into it, that even the developers never imagined what
Tears
people
of the
were
Kingdom?
building. Like,
Yeah, Tears of the
yeah, they
Kingdom.
were building rockets. They were building like fully like automobiles. So like Ramon, you
Lands with
probably built some crazy
giant
stuff. Yeah.
things sticking out and
Trivia loves
shooting water
grinding.
out of them. No,
I am not a grinder.
Aw, okay. No, it's just one of those things that just
On grinder, or you're not in.
I gotcha.
gotta be a little careful with that. Just go so many ways. No, I mean, yeah, but like, I don't know, yeah. So Silvio, like, if you really, and this is what I was gonna ask you earlier. I'm like, so that kind of sucks for like me and Carlos and like people. I remember how like people who are Zelda fans and like Carlos was alluding to the whole idea of like the story, right? Like the tying thing throughout all the games is that all these people are reincarnations of like the hero, like the priestess and like the demon god. But anyways. But for you to get no real story or sense of that kind of sucks. And I kind of wish you would have started with like the Ocarina of Time or something like, you know, now the newer ones like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Because like by the end of Tears of the Kingdom, that technically is the second part of Breath of the Wild, I was crying because it was like beautiful ass story. You know, like all these shows we talk about, like for me, it was like the biggest storyline in Zelda. And it just felt good. And I think, yeah, like if you even just like a good story, play Zelda without caring about Zelda. In those two games, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom will give you something really good. But there's other, yeah, like Twilight's Princess is really good with the story too. Skyward Sword is the first in the timeline, so that's really good. Yeah.
Skyward Sword's pissing me off though because that one, I keep forgetting how much is like you got to use the motion controls for everything. So it's just like I hate the motion controls, man. I gotta like legitly like when I'm fighting people, so that's pissing me off a little bit.
I didn't play enough Fruit Ninja to be good at that. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, yeah, that's. I definitely remember doing the freaking with the nunchucks and everything, and it was probably the worst thing that they ever did in any Zelda game because it was also, like you're enjoying the game, and again, it's not to be like high activity like control smashing, but like then in that game, all of a sudden you were like, oh my god, something's coming at me. You're like freaking out, and you know that takes away from the enjoyment of like discovery and freaking sneaking around in dungeons and finding monsters. But yeah.
You know, and you mentioned you played Smash Brothers, and you know in Smash Brothers, one of the Zelda characters that you constantly see it's Ganondorf, and he's meant to be the big bad in almost every Zelda game. But every once in a while, you'll get a new bad guy. So in this, I know you haven't gotten there, but in this Echoes of Wisdom, you're not gonna get Ganondorf. You do get somebody else, somebody more ancient. And Ramon, I feel like I wish we would have gotten him in more of in a different way that we got him at the end, like not to like spoil how he looks, but I just feel like again it left me wanting to know, or you know, maybe because his name was Null, I was expecting more like the Venom bad guy.
No.
But like he never turned into that, so I was kind of disappointed by the end of the game.
I mean, so yeah, as long as you don't mind, without going into like shape form and things,
yeah.
It's like so again, yeah, Ganondorf 100%. Besides Skyward Sword, that has you know like the number one entity and all this stuff. Like, anyways, yeah, like the villains in these games are great. No, I still don't know how I feel about him because one, he was kind of cool in the sense that it was something like cosmic and world eater type of thing. But then like you said, then it left me wanting more about that story. Like, can we see Zelda and Link in space? Like, can we go into like multi-dimensional? Like it's put not that you know witchcraft and like magic is like something completely different, but you know, yeah, Null was kind of more to me. He'd seem more like a void darkness, which we've gotten before. But I don't know. It just kind of he left me wanting more of a different story. I guess it was just weird. But I thought it was cool that it was different. Like I love that you got Ganon in the beginning as a little shadow, but other than Ganon, like that's it. Then no.
Because the whole game, that's pretty much what you're going to be doing. You're going to be going into different parts of the map and mending those rifts. And you being new to the Zelda franchise, the one thing that's probably going to be cool to you is that you're going to keep seeing like these different creatures depending, like if you go to the desert, you got the desert, people, you go to the water. If you go to the mountains, you got the...
Yeah, that's the second dungeon I'm at with the like desert people, the sand people.
The Gerudo people.
And those are recurring people, like characters in the Zelda world. They're not like every Zelda game that you play, you're always going to run into those creatures. So it's kind of cool because and I almost do wish, Ramon, that like they did a better effort introducing new species. Like I don't know if to call them like new species, but like new type of people, races.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, like, you know, I love seeing like they're like my old friends that I haven't seen in a while, and it's always like I know what kind of goofball things they're gonna get into. But I feel like after Majora's Mask, they should have built on that. They should have said like, hey, Majora's Mask, we're introducing these races now. Let's build on that because I feel like there hasn't been really a lot of like these people. Like besides people, like there's like a village of ninja people. Like there's really hasn't been that much in innovation in the Zelda games. Unless you can tell me maybe I'm missing something.
No, I mean there kind of is, but it's I don't know. Like I know what you're saying, and I think part of it is too is that again, this is not necessarily a great thing about Zelda and the whole Zelda franchise is that you do get a lot of the same villages, the same clans, even the same ranches, and like in different names, different people, like main people, different names. But like if you're a fan, obviously you like that and you love seeing like the Gerudo story because that leads to Ganondorf, like he is the Gerudo king because the Gerudo people are all women and he's the one like the one guy and then ultimately he becomes like the king. So like again, stories are great from this, but sometimes you do kind of sit there and you're like, damn, I wish I got something different. Which again, Majora's Mask is probably one of the bigger different ones. Twilight Princess is another one that I love also because it's so different. Then by the time you get to Skyward again, because it's supposed to be the first, it's kind of new because it feels different. But other than that, it's still the same story, and it does not leave you lacking. It just makes you appreciate it more when you see it in different reiterations. But no, I mean, there's a couple of things in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but not anything that I'm like, oh, that's a standard of Zelda. It's just some random creature.
Majora's Mask, I feel like that one is far. Cause I mean, every Zelda game tries to be different, but Majora's Mask, I still feel like that one has. And I haven't played like any of the. I think they might have done like a remake, Ramon, or something.
The remastered,
the remaster, and I didn't play the remaster, but I think that one has like the most like it's creepy. What's going on? It's interesting. What you can do with the Zelda, it's like really cool. It has like body dysphoria. So it's just I feel like if you were to play Majora's Mask, you would get so much out of it. So, I mean, I feel like that's the gateway drug to really get you into the franchise by having you play Majora's Mask. Because in Majora's Mask, you're pretty much dealing. That's when that's another thing. You don't deal with Ganondorf. You're dealing with the mask that Ramon just showed in the beginning. What's his name? The Skull Kid.
Majora, the Skull Kid wearing Majora,
Yeah, wearing Majora's Mask. And that whole concept is the moon is falling and you have like 48 hours to save the world before the moon falls. And you have to like, every single time that the moon's about to fall, you got to go back in time and start all over again. So it's very like, I don't know, it's very creative. Like I feel like I'm still waiting to play a game similar to that where you're almost in a time rush. Like I have to do this because there is a time limit, but
yeah. I mean, that's definitely another game that's amazing. Like I don't know, Raul, what game do you like the most out of the Zelda ones that you played? Like what do you recommend out of what you played?
Probably the one that I remember the most that well, I guess that was the most memorable. It might be because of the music. Is probably Ocarina of Time.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's a staple.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Any 64 game is like that's it.
Yeah. So I played that one probably the most. That one and Majora's Mask are probably the two most memorable to me, just because I played them like a ton. Back in the N64 days.
Did you ever go to like Toys R Us back in the day and like they would have the demo or like where you can play you could play Ocarina of Time, like the beginning level on it. Like I remember like having to spend hours just kind of like playing whatever I could in that.
Walmart too sometimes in the electronics section.
Low lives playing Zelda for free. Just don't kidding. I mean, to be fair, it's like literally one of the very few games that's always been the one that I get right away. And then if there's a new system, I get it with the new. Like I have to get the new system for the new game. But yeah, so it's like, but it's that was always fun, like looking for all the new things. Yeah.
Well, like back in the day, like when your parents took you to like Kmart or Target, and it's like, all right, do whatever you want. Like they always knew they could find you in the Electronica.
They dropped you off there, and then they went around and did the thing, and then they picked you back up there.
So I feel like that's what these stores are missing, like something that can entertain a child for free for like an hour.
I remember they would do Christmas shopping, put me in the electronics, and then leave, and then come back like an hour or two later.
Yeah.
Oh, the good old days when you wait. I'm like, dude, parents just don't do that anymore. I mean, Carlos wouldn't.
When I was 2, I was back in Poland. I mean, at that point, just everyone's family.
Well, shit, for us, it's here in America, and it's like, fuck. Our parents were assholes.
No, nowadays you need somebody to come in and give you the key for the deodorant that you want to get out.
Good. No,
you want to buy.
No. There's no way they're going to have an exposed control right there. A PlayStation or Xbox or Switch. Nah.
I don't
No,
know. Yeah.
I mean, I'm Ramon. I mean, I knew you were gonna play this game, whether we made an episode or not. I've been trying to get into the Zelda franchise again. Like, I feel like I'm more into it, and I feel like I'm gonna just continue for the next year, catching up on every game that I can. And I feel like with Nintendo, I'm confident they're gonna continue to make these HD remakes. I feel like whether it's Ocarina of Time they announced next, or Majora's Mask, or even I think Twilight Princess could really use the HD remake,
That's
because
a
that
great
one, when I
one.
played it, it seemed like a really great game that was almost held back by its graphics at the time.
Yeah.
So I feel like that one could really like be a beautiful. Oh my god, this actually might be the second or third best Zelda game ever. But at the time, I just feel like the graphics held it back so much because it wanted to be Breath of the Wild, but it couldn't be Breath of the Wild back in 2007 or whenever it came out.
Sylvia, you'll really like Twilight Princess. Now that I think about it, because in Twilight Princess, like you end up playing as the Twilight. Well, never mind. Anyways, you end up playing as Mina, who's this little like imp girl, and so it's like Link becomes a wolf, and so it's like he's basically Mina's like bitch the whole time, and so it's like it's a beautiful game because
I like it. I see.
No, but yeah. And then as the story progresses, and as the story progresses, and as the story progresses, there is the love interest because Midna basically has a little mini crush on Link, but Zelda's always like the one he simps for.
Mm-hmm.
So, but by the end, when there's like the climax and you figure out who's who and what's going on, you're like soap opera. Holy shit! Like this was great. Like that is one of the most like soap opera like or more like story like too. That's a good one. That's a saucy one.
I do like tea with my games.
Yeah, because it echoes of
I do like tea with my games.
There you go. That's exactly. That's a good one.
Because in Echoes of Wisdom, they give you try, and I guess that's something too that we should express, that depending on the Zelda game, you always get some kind of companion. Whether it's in the Ocarina of Time, you get the fairy that's
Navi,
like, listen to me or whatever.
Listen.
And then, listen. It's just like there's always somebody, or they find a way to always give like Zelda some kind of companion. Like in Skyward Sword, I'm playing with the Master Sword, and the Master Sword actually turns into a person, and she's very robotic. It almost reminds me of your Alexa voice that you did for us last week, where she'll come out and give me instructions in a very robotic voice. It's always like they always find some way to put like a new way of somebody, because Link doesn't talk. Like that's his thing. He never really communicates. What? So you always have to have somebody else who's talking for him or explain what's going around.
Yeah. Which I don't know. Then you remind me of the whole like live action Zelda, and it just pisses me off because I still don't know what's going to happen with that.
Funny enough,
they can't fuck that up. Yeah.
They gave the craziest announcement today. They're like, Zelda movie, a live action Zelda movie will definitely be made before 2030. I'm like, okay. So like by 20, that's like like saying like, you might get it, but
they're banking on some of us voicing Link. No, fuck you. They're banking on some of us dying of like heart attacks from like freaking middle age. Like, I ate too much waiting for this Zelda movie.
Well, I remember like Tom Holland was like the top choice when they announced it, like for Netflix. I think there was a Netflix movie happening. Like I remember people kept throwing his name.
Yeah, that was like I think that became an internet meme too because after the Netflix whole thing, like it just stuck around and it was just it was somehow that was weird. I don't know, man. Link is a hard character. I don't know what I want to see him. Zelda's easier to pick of like pick someone and she looks like this, but Link.
I feel like you could do a live action Zelda movie where you find a way where Link almost Little Mermaid style, he loses his voice. Like right away, like something happens, and that almost sets him up on the mission. Like not only to get his voice back,
he sings to a squid lady.
Wait, he sings to a squid lady to get pointy ears because that's what he really wants. So they do a transaction, but I just feel like you do need to incorporate a little bit of the Link not talking, and maybe that's when you give him like an annoying character or something.
Yeah, but it has to be all non-Link talking because there's no way you can't like if that's going to be the biggest fuck up. Like people are mad about other things in games and shows. Like that's the one thing that Zelda fans will ultimately be mad at is if they make Link talk. Like not even a funny one-liner. Like no, like shut the fuck up. Like close your mouth.
Oh my god!
Don't talk. No, it means like go on Reddit. Look it up. It's just you don't want Link to talk.
Yeah,
Morgan Freeman voicing Link.
Not even. Nah, fuck that. No.
Me and Ramon were also Metroid Prime fans, and like there's a Samus Aran game that they did where like they gave her like backstory and she had nightmares of like her past, and people were so mad that like, oh my god, why are you making this like superwoman kind of character that's so brave, can go into any battle and like handle her own business on her own. Why are you giving her like scenes where she's like sleeping and having nightmares of past events? And people were really pissed that they like again took this very powerful woman and all of a sudden they made her weak. And it's like, no, like Samus Aran should be like this 6'5" super warrior that can just go and kick ass everywhere she goes. Like she doesn't need a man.
Yeah, I mean that happens way too much. That's what's scary about a movie, like especially like you said, because I mean, unless they like picked a particular like game or something that was a little different, but if like everything we're talking about, like how Zelda has a prolific like story that carries across most games, and like that reincarnation, the Triforce, and all that, but like if you do that and you make like a freaking dumb movie with it, like it's just not going to be any good. Like it has to be like, I really hope that they pick a fan.
What if it's something good like Street Fighter or Dragon Ball?
Dude,
no, come on.
I know we were afraid of. Ramon, I know we were joking about Tom Holland, but honestly, a live action Zelda is Zendaya, especially after seeing my favorite movie of the year.
Oh yeah, your favorite scene of the year, actually.
Which one was that? Is that in one of these ones that you said?
Challengers.
Challengers, yeah. Like I think Zendaya could really pull off a Zelda, especially because the way I've seen her in some of these red carpet events. Huh?
What do you call her?
No, the movie she was on was Challengers.
No, what do you call her?
She's gonna make fun of you for calling her.
Oh no, did I say it wrong? What was
Zendaya?
Yeah. Zendaya, damn it, yeah.
Yeah, see.
No, but it's like I'm too mesmerized by her beauty to even get it.
But see, that's another thing too. As much as I'm not necessarily for all this like everything has to stay the way it is in the games, but it's like people are gonna be upset if you don't have Zelda be like blonde or like golden brown hair, and like that applies too. Like Link can't be a black haired dude or redhead. Like what? Like fuck no. Like
Hayden Panettiere.
No, yes, no. And so it's like it's like you just have to be so careful. And then this is again, like it's just one of those games that everybody like. Again, whichever game you pick, but if people, especially if you like most of them or like whatever you played, like people love this shit, and you're gonna fuck it up if you do any of that stuff. But
or they do Smash Brothers Zelda.
Yeah. But that's what I love about the games, though, because in the games you can do whatever you want. Hence, in this one, not the best game, very easy, very for kids, but entertaining if you enjoyed it, and it's something quick to play. It's like super quick to play. You can play it asleep, and I don't know. It's a good little like distraction. I'll wait for the next title. Yeah.
Well, Ramon, I haven't told you this news, but before we move on to Pokemon, we did decide for C2E2 that we're all gonna go as One Piece characters, and Sylvia's gonna be the lovely Mr. Luffy.
Really? That's awesome! Hell yeah!
So Sylvia, I saw somebody that had a sign that said free punches or free kicks. So I might make you a sign that says like free punches, so that way people can come up to you and ask for a free punch.
Man.
I'm gonna come out with a broken arm, but that's okay.
I mean,
no, don't worry, I got you. We're gonna make you one of those Hulk hands. I'm gonna give you one. That way you have like a big Hulk hand. Yeah.
Okay. I do want to say two things about Zelda though, just because this kind of almost made me not want to play, although I did enjoy it. But it was But it was the echoes, how you have to go through that whole list, and there isn't really a way to like organize it.
The sorting on it.
And I would be in the middle of a battle, I would stop it, I would look through what I wanted, find it, send it out, realize it's not working, want something else, find it, send it out. There was no way to really sort it, or like do little quick ones where you always want this one.
But
that's one of the complaints. Yeah.
But to be fair, though, fucking Elden Ring, like it's the same thing. Like the other side of the game, same thing. Like when I play Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, like sometimes I'm in these situations that if I wasn't able to pause to fucking go through my whole menu and like find the thing I need, like that the game wouldn't work the way it works. Like it's not that kind of game. But yeah, this scrolling was fucking annoying.
And it was just one line. I would be looking for it, and then if you skipped over, you have to go all the way back.
Well,
it'd be better with that normal grid that they usually do.
There's three sorting options. It's like most used, most recent, and something else. But
sometimes I would forget I found something forever ago that later I'm like, oh, that could have been like fucking handy. Like you know. But I mean, I can tell we're almost done with this. But like, where at least was, I know Sylvia, you're still in the beginning, but Carlos and I guess Sylvia, still you can. What was one of your favorite like echoes to use? And I know you guys mentioned the bat. I think it's super funny. But like, what do you think? Like the game just got so much easier with that echo, or at least for you, Carlos, towards the end, and then you, Sylvia, at any point.
I mean, obviously, there's like the most powerful one, which is the one that lives in the forest, the horse looking dude, the centaur guy.
Oh, the Lino, yeah.
The Lino, that
Yeah.
one at the end was like super useful. But before that, I was using this giant knight that carried an axe, and he could also like would spin around. He was like my top dog to use.
Yeah,
like, honestly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I think I found, man, I forget what they're called, but it was like the dude in the black armor, and he had, I think it was like a knife. He didn't spin or do anything, but he was pretty strong. You got him at like one of the dungeons, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So him, and then I liked my second level little armadillo that I would shoot out because he was just like a strong little boulder ball.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. For me, I found those, like I said, flying like seed plants with the little spike and it just propels around. That became my thing. Like literally, especially like again, as I powered up my like freaking try, I was able to cast 4 or 3 or 4 at the very end. And again, all I had to do was stand in one place or spin around, and just my guys would just like destroy everything around them. It was like a giant freaking Beyblade, like I don't know.
Well, like in the beginning, I did enjoy like the TikToks where they would show you like you can innovate by like, for example, say maybe you would put up a table, you could place a plant. One of those like there's eventually you'll reach a plant that it can eat any enemy like with one bite. So you put like a plant on top of the table.
The Mario ones or the
and then you move the table around. You can technically move the plant around for it to like swallow other monsters rather than it just stands there.
God. It took me the longest time to realize I could like grab onto the spider and climb up the walls.
Yeah, that was annoying too.
No one explained that to me.
It's just a lot of things you probably wouldn't.
Never doing what he wanted to do.
No, it would always go around. There was like same thing too. Sometimes when you had to cross before the cloud, because the cloud became like the best way of like jumping around. But like Carlos, like the flying tile that, or you, Sylvia too, like you'll see a flying tile in the Gerudo. Like that was a quick way to get across from stuff. Like I would shoot it, attach myself to it, and like Spider-Man all the way over.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
This is fun. Like that's what I'm saying. Creativity is because, like I said, we're all doing different things. Like I didn't know the thing about the plant. I didn't know you could hold on to the spider. I know the spider you could climb, but I didn't know about that spider. So yeah, silly.
I never got the tiles, Ramon. Like I never managed. Like I encountered them once, but I was never able to echo them because they would break. And it was like,
when you were walking back, they're on the floor, and you just quickly grab it before it shoots out.
Carlos got it. They fooled the camouflage. Got it.
There must be like a second, because like I encountered them in this one quick room where like right away they would just shoot at you, and I'm like,
if you keep going further, you get to the end, and then when you're coming back, they're still on the floor, and you can quickly like touch it.
Oh man, well that's the one echo that's missing from my Pokédex.
Yeah, well, surprisingly, I don't have the Lino. I know it existed, but like I didn't want to like look for it like on purpose.
You almost run in. You have to run into it at the end because you're taken to the forest, and that's where he lives.
Boy, I was elevating myself above all the trees and just running on top of the trees like a ninja. I was like Naruto.
No, but there's even the part where you have to like find those statues in the floor. So I'm like, you have to like be on the floor to find those statues.
Yeah, I don't know. I did not, dude. I promise you. I passed the game. I promise you. I have. I had the little star next to
my...
No. I can show you, man. I have the star next to my like profile, and then I have no Lino in my echoes.
Send the reads.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's kind of, I think that's fun, right? Because like
the way you're supposed to find it, like you find its footsteps, so you're supposed to like as you're seeing the footsteps go along the directions it's taking you, and then you find them.
Yeah, 1 or 2 hours of sleep will do a lot to you. Like,
he has like 7. Dude, it takes 7 tries to like summon him. So it's you can't even really summon him unless you have like 7 little tails at the back of the try.
See, I'll probably still play like just a little bit more. Not that I want to do 100% completion, but just like I kind of want the Lino just to call it quits. Like
no wonder you know what I was talking about. Yeah, the Lino.
Well, I know the Lino, and I know he was part of the game, but also I'm like it's too easy of a game to like for me to be like, oh, let me go find the Lino. I'm like, I'll just run into it. But surprisingly, I didn't. Now that you mention it, I'm like, I did not run into.
Well, something I found out too is that like once you complete the rift in whatever part of the map, if there's still like even a little rift left, that means you can find that rift and cure it. So
the little
close
ones.
it, yeah, the little ones. And
it
I
took
didn't
me
realize
the whole
that.
game to realize there's little ones too. So
yeah, that I didn't realize that as well.
Yeah.
You could have level experience up your try even more by doing those, but yeah.
I knew I had limited time. It was one of the first Zelda games that I was like, hell no, just dashing through. So, but
the snow
I made it work. Yeah, through the snow, through the forest and the desert.
Yeah, and the water, right? I was
water.
about to start, yeah.
Well,
Carlos, you mentioned a Pokedex, so why don't we talk about our second game here?
Let's tell Raul, because Raul, you've been sitting quietly to tell us all about your experience.
Explain the game to us, actually. Yeah, explain what the game looks like.
What is Pokemon?
Yeah.
Pokemon.
So actually, I was playing that while you guys were talking about the game.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I knew your eyes were like going all over the place.
Yeah. No, yeah. So apparently, kind of how Sylvia said, there was an older version of this game, which
Much
is based
harder.
off of the card game, and the previous app was not as user friendly and was more complicated to use and harder to level up. Because Sylvia and I actually by accident downloaded that game first, then we.
That's
that
the
Pocket
correct
or
one.
Live?
That's the correct one.
That's
the correct one.
Yeah.
I could tell when Raul sent me screenshots, and I'm like,
I sent you the screenshot, and you were like, "You have the wrong game."
I'm pretty sure you guys have the wrong game.
That Pokemon Live, that's the one that I'm supposed to be playing? No,
no,
right?
No,
that's the old one.
That's the wrong one.
No, the other one.
I'm kidding. I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So once we found out that was the wrong game, then we downloaded the right game. And it was so much simpler to set up and get into. And then the other one, we had like a bunch of like login issues too, and things were like freezing, and it was a mess. But
I had an eyebrow problem. I couldn't make my eyebrows fly.
I will say the first red flag that he downloaded the wrong game is because we were recording the moment it came live. Like it was like ready for you to finally download.
Oh, okay.
And Raul was like, "Oh, this game already has 22,000 reviews," and that was like the first red flag. I'm like, "Bro, this game just came out. Like, how could it have that much reviews?"
No, it had like a 2 point something rating. It had like 2 point something stars. I was like, "Wow, people don't like it a lot."
And you didn't correct us. We told you afterwards we were going to download it, and you left us.
No, I mean, was this when I was taking like the cold medicine? I was already like,
you left us to our own devices. Anyway, so I do remember actually playing the card game way back in the day when the cards came out. So it's similar to that. You get it's kind of like Magic, where you get your lands or your little energies. So if you have fire Pokemon, you need like a fire energy or maybe two to attack, and stuff like that. So you in this mobile game, you are able to create decks with 20 cards. So you can do just one sort of Pokemon, like fighting or fire or whatever, or you can mix them up with that and some normals, or that and some like water and. But then in the fighting mechanism of the game, you have these 20 cards, including some kind of trainer cards that let you either draw more cards or put more energies on different Pokemon or whatever. But you start off with one Pokemon in play. And then you kind of have a bench of 3, and then you on top of that you have your hand, and then the energies you don't draw them, you just get one energy in each one of your turns, and then you get to place them down on your Pokemon. And then if you get like a Pidgey, then you can't put a Pidgey out right away. You have to put down the Pidgey, then you have to evolve them into Pidgeotto. Once you draw Pidgeotto, then you can evolve them into Pidgeot or whatever Pokemon evolution thing you go to. But you take turns, you battle, and then once you kill 3 of your opponent's Pokemon, then you win.
Yeah, and there's some Pokemons that are like the EX or Dex that have like really these cards that have like at the top they have like Mewtwo DX or something. They count as 2 points. So when you defeat a Pokemon that's a DX, they'll give you 2 points automatically. So sometimes you'll win just by knocking out that one Pokemon because now you already had 1 point and then you get the 2 points and that'll get you the victory.
Okay.
Yeah,
sounds cool. I mean, I downloaded it, so now it's just starting to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you kind of start off with a couple cards, and then you open booster cards every 12 hours, but you get these like tokens kind of things that allow you to kind of speed up the process, and depending on how much time is left, then you can open more. But it obviously costs those. So once you run out of those, then you have to wait 12 hours to open up a new booster pack.
Because there's like a solo missions that you can do to like level up, and they give you experience. So I was able to use those, Ramon, and I was able to open like in the first 4 days 40 packs, because there is an option to open 10 packs at once. So I did that for like the first 4 days. Like I was able to open up like a pack of 10, 10, 10. Sadly, either you get repetitions or you don't get what you need, and it's frustrating because
I still have no Pidgeotos.
Yeah, like I'm fighting Sylvia, which she's building her deck to be psychic, but right now I'm using a fighting deck, not because fighting's my favorite. It's just the game has given me the most what I can make the best out of using fighting cards.
Yeah, so I have no electric cards at all.
That's kind of sucks.
Oh wait, what? Really?
Yeah, and then you can only have 2 of each Pokemon, so like that'll stop you from like somebody having like 4 Mewtwo on your deck.
Yeah, in your 20s.
Is there a trading system?
There will be one coming soon.
There will be a trading system. Okay.
Yeah. But you can battle with other friends that you have in there.
Yeah. So. See, that'll be OP for like those people that already know that they're already kind of like freaking grinding and have the multiple phones that are doing the freaking mining. But
what I can tell from like me being able to play around with like random people and even people that I know is just I think what's going to be the most that can sometimes get you the victory is the support cards. Right now they've introduced support cards, Ramon, but they're very basic. Some of them are like, let you your opponent will have to throw all their hands back in the deck and then get 3 cards. So if they have like accumulated 7 cards, you can say discard all those 7 cards and then you get 3 new ones. So there's stuff like that you can mess people around with. But right now the support cards, they don't really do much to really mess with your opponent. So I feel like later on, when they do introduce better support cards, I feel like that's going to be what's really going to make or break a deck, because I think support cards are like the one thing that you cannot predict when you're fighting people.
I mean,
my favorite thing to do is like somebody will have an active Pokemon, and then I'll have a card that'll make him switch that active Pokemon for another Pokemon, and I feel like a lot of times that gets me the victory, because all of a sudden they spend so much time accumulating for the one Pokemon, then when they're forced to switch out to another one, that's when I'm able to get like the points that I need.
I mean, for the years that I played Pokemon, the card game, the real one in '97, that was like, I mean, 1/4 of my deck was always support cards, and I do remember like they were like key to the game for the same reasons, like you said.
Whether it's Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, like support cards.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm like, it almost sounds like kind of Magic Arena, like that app game, but Magic Arena is actually legitimately Magic the Gathering. Like there's no shortcut. There's no like, you need to accumulate your lands. Like you can't, if you don't draw lands, you don't have lands, and so you can't play cards. And so like I love that aspect, but also like, I guess it's been forever since I played Pokemon, so I think a shortened, easier version of it is kind of fun. So I'm excited for that part. Like I said, right now I'm just opening boosters, but other than that, like I think I'm only level 2. So in a week, I'll catch you guys.
Like Sylvia, how many colors are you using in your deck? Like Psychic and what else?
I was doing Psychic and Water, but then that one time that the one time that Carlos and I dueled, I got all Psychic energies, but I didn't get any. But all my Pokemon that I had were Water, so I couldn't use the energies with them, and that's why I lost, because I was just getting Psychic after Psychic.
But you had really good cards, and I was wondering too, and it took me a while to realize that you weren't getting the energy.
I couldn't use them. Yeah, it was all Psychic.
And that's why, Ramon, like I use fighting, and I also use the colorless, because colorless you can put whatever you want on it. Yeah. But it's annoying when when you're using like fire and water, because if you're not getting the specific, because you don't know what energy you're gonna get next, it's just random. Yeah. So it could really F you up if you don't have like the right Pokemon to give you like the land you need.
Clefable's been coming in clutch for me.
and I guess
Clefable, because I have 2 EX Clefables.
Oh, because you said powerless. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. And I guess people are complaining about the Misty card. Like I saw today on IGN that people are like saying that the Misty card's broken, because essentially what it does is it will let you flip a coin, and as long as you keep getting head, you accumulate energy cards. And from experience, somebody has played the Misty card and accumulated like 7 heads, which that man gave him 7 energy cards in one turn, which is like, dude, like at this point, like just freaking give him the game. So it's just people are saying that the Misty card needs to be looked at, so that it's like somebody cannot just keep getting unlimited heads and accumulating energy at once.
The Brock card isn't even that good. The Brock card, it allows you to put 1 energy on either an Onyx, a Growlithe, or I forget what other Pokemon.
Oh, that's very specific.
Yeah.
Like anytime I see mist, because there's also a wander system that'll let you so every time you check it, there could be like Sylvia and Raul, like as people that I could choose five, like so they'll present you with 5 cards, and you have a chance if you pay depending on like if Sylvia has like an Alakazam or something really rare.
You really want that card, don't you?
I have the Alakazam. I don't need it.
Okay.
But like you can say like, oh, I'm gonna pay 2 wonder points to get lucky and pick from these 5 upside down and try to see if I get lucky enough to get that Alakazam. And sometimes like you'll pay and you won't get the card you want, you get a duplicate, so it kind of pisses you off. But sometimes you get lucky. Like this morning, I got lucky with somebody in our Discord and they ended up giving me a Blastoise. And I was like, oh hell yeah! Like I wanted this Blastoise.
Nice. I mean, again, I'll be on there. If anything, that's what I got to do. Gotta go to our Discord, and I got to start adding all the friend codes, and you know.
Oh no, I got to do that too.
That was also a plug, by the way, if you're listening. I mean,
join the Discord, everyone.
Join the Discord. Okay.
Yeah. A lot of times if we're playing like video game, we'll get on we have a channel for gaming, so we'll use that voice chat thing to talk with each other.
Sylvia, do you have like other than the psychic? Do you have any other deck that you can tell us like your strategy that you're building behind it? Because I have I have total of maybe 3-4 decks, but they're not completed. But you can tell based on the cards I'm putting in there that I'm accumulating. Like I can see the strategy that I can come up with once I have the sufficient cards that I need. For example, I'm trying to build a Pidgeot deck, Ramon, because the Pidgeot has an ability that when you hit the current active Pokemon, it'll throw them back in the bench, and they'll have to switch out with another Pokemon in the back. So like I'm trying to build a deck that sort of gives me that advantage because I want to see how it works out in battle, where it's just like it pushes the opponent, like keeps pushing like their active Pokemon back. So
that's cool.
So, like I don't know, do you have any strategy that you're specifically building towards, Sylvia?
So I will say that all of my decks have my Chansey in it. And then I do have the Pidgeline now in it. So that's kind of like my strategy when it comes to the colorless. And then I have my Psychic and I have my Water decks. So I separated the decks out because I had enough for both of them. And that's kind of how I'm deciding what I'm battling.
Have you seen what the Hitmonlee can do? Have you had a Hitmonlee?
I don't know. I may have actually.
So a Hitmonlee, his damage does 30, but it doesn't do it to the active. You can choose any of the bench Pokemon to deal 30 damage too.
Oh yeah, I do have a Hitmonlee.
So like,
and if you kill them, then do you still get the point?
You still get the point. Pokemon? So I think with the Pidgeot, having that ability that you can damage the active, throw them back, and then having a Hitmonlee to like lead a lethal blow towards the bench Pokemon, I think that could be a good strategy. So that's what I'm building right now. I'm trying to build.
So I do like my Psychic deck the best because I do have my Jinx, and I'm just reading this now because I wanted to give you good information. I like my Jinx. She has 80 HP, which isn't the best, but her attack it's 20 plus depending on how many energies you have on your card.
Oh yeah.
So if you have 4 energies on your card, that's 80 plus the 30 I already have with just the basic attack. So that just is 120, and then I'm good. Type of thing. So, or 110 is it?
No.
Yeah. Which whatever way. So that's why she's kind of the card that I like to pull out, and why I like my Psychic deck. Which I don't know if they have an Espeon in this one though, because I know in my Water deck I have my Vaporeon, but
I feel like they not right now. That must be like in a future deck versions.
Yeah. And I kind of like that because I have my Wigglytuff in pretty much every deck, because with that one, when she attacks, she does a good amount of damage. I think she does like 80 damage, and then on top of that, she puts other Pokemon to sleep. So then at the other Pokemon's turn, they have to flip a coin, and if it's tails, they stay asleep. So then they can't attack.
Ramon, weren't you a Wigglytuff player back when you had a deck? I feel like that was one of your main ones.
Yeah, I played a lot with that, and then I can't remember a lot, but Wigglytuff was one of the ones, and then I had a Dragon's deck, but that was towards the end. with like Dragonite, Charizard, and it was just like, but it was just because, yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, so then all this, like, again, I haven't been on there besides opening the booster packs and stuff like that. But I'm excited for that reason because like this is all coming back.
Building
And I'm
decks,
like,
yeah.
No, it's really hitting you on that. No, from the
because
past.
like obviously we played Magic the Gathering for like years too, but it's like Pokemon was just something different that was just felt cool. And then even just in any kind of like game reiteration, I was always like happier when it had elements of the actual card game because that's where my first introduction was into it, like that in the anime. But yeah, and so it's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for it.
Dude, what makes me really excited, there are some cards that, for example, like today I drew a Gengar DX or whatever you call them.
Yeah.
And his ability, as long as he's an active, my opponent cannot use any support cards. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then there's other cards that even if they're in bench, you can use their abilities. So that's kind of when I see like, oh man, there's a strategy to having some of these Pokemon, not because you want them as fighters, but more because of that ability that can just be used whenever, whether they're inactive or just in the bench. So that's really cool too.
Nice.
The other thing that I noticed is specifically when I was fighting against you, Carlos, is that I need to balance out the more expensive and the cheaper Pokemon, because since you only get one energy per turn, if you go first, you don't get an energy. So if you go second, so you kind of end up being screwed if you end up being first. But the one thing that I noticed is that like when I was fighting you, I didn't have enough energies in order to attack you. So then like I was placing energies on Pokemon that you would just kill, and then I would have to like build up my next Pokemon's energies because they were all too expensive. So I used some of my normal Pokemon to offset some of the costs of some of the other
some
ones.
of them, like if you want to retreat them, like their cost can be really high. I think one of the matches that I was playing with Sylvia, like I noticed she didn't have energy on her Pokemon, and to retreat that Pokemon, she needed to have like 4 on it. And I didn't really have like a good like bench Pokemon. So instead of like killing her Pokemon, I just passed my turn. I don't think she was expecting that. I think she anticipated for me to kill her Pokemon, and then she could bring out her really good Pokemon that I was scared of her bringing forward. But I'm like, I purposely like went 2 turns without attacking it because I'm like, yeah, like I know what you want. And then that's when I was able to actually draw the cards that I wanted, make my Pokemon stronger.
Except remember,
and then I was
those
ready.
were the turns that I did not tell him, can you skip this turn because my connection is really bad.
Ramon, we played 3 games, all right?
Okay, the first game, yes, you 100% won. The second game, you did too. It was a really good game. I forgot to switch out my deck. The third time, though, I told you my connection is really bad. Can we please skip this turn so I can reconnect it and make it better? No energies, no attacking. Skip the turn. What does Carlos do? Puts an energy on his card, attacks mine, uses some other card. Now I have to pull out like my Chansey or whatever, and he kills that in 1 turn too. I didn't even have a chance to do anything.
Damn.
And this conversation was happening in the group text. So now I was following along. I was like, oh, like what's happening? And then even the part like something about a coin, and then Carlos was like, oh, you can see that.
No, I knew she could see it.
Like,
I knew she could see
I skipped the turn. I'm like, no, you didn't. You just drew 2 tails, so you couldn't attack me. You didn't skip
Ramon,
the turn.
So I treasure Sylvia so much. You know, in League of Legends, without her, I would be wandering that forest, not knowing, you know, where to go. So I wrote her an apology letter that I will now read live in the recording.
I wrote a response back.
I said, "Dear Sylvia, I am sorry that I did not honor our truce. The match was terrible reception for the both of us, and I took no pleasure in winning. I can't wait to rematch again and have fun. You're a good sport, and I look forward to playing with you. I will even play support when we play League of Legends. Sincerely, this is Stan."
This is Stan. Hell yeah. That was good.
Yeah. And you accepted it, so you cannot bring this back. Yeah.
I'm still gonna bring it back because I had a lot of trust in you, and you just completely said
now
no.
You know why I belong in the Slytherin house.
He does. Now I know Carlos cheats.
Yeah.
This is why we struggle bot lane. We don't have any trust between us anymore.
Well, that's why you got to put him in your team. You got to put him in your team. Obviously, this is not that type of game, but that's the solution. Put him in your team. You're good. Let him do his own thing.
When we see each other for C2E2, we're gonna do a trust fall, Sylvia, where like, I'll catch you.
Can you fall and I catch you?
No.
What do you mean no?
I do
You
not
have to
trust
trust
anybody.
me. Why am I falling backward?
That's funny.
So I do have a game for you guys both, just for Ramon and Carlos, because I don't think Raul and I have enough experience with being able to reference any of these. But this is a Zelda game, okay?
Oh no, Ramon's gonna win.
So
Hey, what are we
you
doing?
don't know.
You're playing a game.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm playing a game right now. Okay.
Yeah. So I am going to read off bad descriptions of Zelda games. And you have to guess
that's what I figured
which Zelda game it is. So Raul also has the answers here. So we'll go back and forth.
Can I play too?
Yeah.
If you didn't read them,
a lot of games.
Trust system.
It is,
Trust
yeah.
system.
So I put in 18 games. I'm only going to ask 10 questions.
The hell? Yeah.
I'll only ask 10 though. I'll go. So Raul and I will go back and forth between asking them, and I'll keep score just to kind of. Yes, I'm gonna have you read.
So there's some games that I know. I might know what. I might come close to the name, but not fully say the name. Would you give me the point if I'm able to get there with the description that I give?
I don't know the game enough.
Okay, we'll see when we get there.
Know.
But
I'll give it to you, Carlos. I'll give it to you. It's okay. I'll be like, you got it first.
Okay, if you respond fast enough and it's similar to what it should be, you'll get the point.
Okay.
All right.
It's gonna be hard, Ramon. This
I ain't good at
some of these are really easy.
Okay.
Yeah, some of these you guys have mentioned already the games like prior multiple times, so I feel like you'll kind of know them, but you're
gonna know a lot of these.
Yeah, we'll start off. So Raul, I'm gonna mix them up with what I have sent you. They're gonna be mixed a little bit, because the ones that I sent you were just from like a date of the earliest to the newest. So I randomized it for myself, so just kind of keep track of what I'm saying, I guess.
Sounds like a quiz for you too, sucker. Keep up.
All right, so let me go ahead and get this ready here.
I didn't know I had to study for this. This is not part of the whole thing.
Yeah, this is new.
No,
Ro has been beating me in most of these games, Ramon.
Yeah,
I didn't know right now.
Well, because they generally have to do with just normal movies.
What do you mean
and
normal?
I've seen a lot of movies.
What does Carlos watch? Weird movies, freaky movies, perverted movies, sad movies.
So again, I give bad descriptions, and I think Raul just knows me enough to know what the bad description means to where he knows the answer, and then Carlos is trying his best. We appreciate it.
Yeah. It's because Sylvia and I are one entity.
We're one.
Apparently.
I missed that, but we're one.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I see it though.
All right, ready?
It's because all those camping trips in our backyard.
Yeah. There you go.
That we left you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we still have your Costco card.
Yeah, if you want that back.
There you go.
All right. So, first one. Are we ready?
Yeah.
So remember, these are Zelda games. First clue, and this is the only clue you guys get. It's your birthday. Celebrate by sailing.
Oh, Wind Waker.
Oh, what are we doing here?
I don't know. Isn't that not answer first? It's not answer first. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right.
You can scratch that one out.
All right.
That's a stupid
we'll
game.
Scratch that one. Now we know, but don't raise your hand. Just shout out the answer. Okay. All right. Roll.
What was it called?
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
Okay. I'll make sure not to do that one. Oh, there it is. Okay.
I knew Roll was gonna struggle.
Okay. 1 link, 2 link, 3 link.
Okay, I know this one, but I can give a description of it.
Not the finish cap? I didn't play any of those.
What's your description?
Maybe something with seasons, seasons in the title, seasons.
No.
So the title has a number.
The last one.
That's a number in it.
It's one of the last console.
So 1 link, 2 link, 3 link. What comes after 3?
4 links?
None of the Game Boy, none of the Game Boy Advance, none of those. Except for Link's Awakening.
I have no idea what game this is.
You know what it is, Ramon?
No, I besides Link's Awakening, I didn't play any of the. I know which one she's talking about, but I don't know the name.
So this game is on Game Boy Advance.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're like play as
2004.
Yes. You played like 4 different links, like a red, a green, a blue.
I'll give it to Carlos.
Yeah.
But
It's
it's something.
four.
Isn't it
It's 4 swords.
4
Everything
swords?
Sylvia said, Carlos said. Point to Carlos.
No,
I'm kidding.
he didn't. No, he didn't.
I'm kidding.
No, but you know what? I
I
swear there was something of seasons in the title, but I guess
No,
I
it's
was
4
wrong.
swords.
that's another. I think that's another one of the game
That's another
consoles,
one?
though. Yeah, there's
Oh, wow.
there's like yeah. I mean, there's a few. That's where I'm gonna suck, man. I don't play besides
Alright.
Yeah.
Awakening.
Next one, ready?
Yeah.
Zelda dies and you start working all the lifelong day.
Oh,
Is it Majora's Mask?
nope.
Breath of the Wild.
No.
Zelda dies and you're working a long, long day.
Oh, Majora's. No, not Majora's Mask.
I
Right?
said Majora's
Yeah.
Mask. Yeah.
What the hell?
It's
Is
on
it-
Wii
is
U
it
and
Ocarina of Time?
Nintendo DS. No.
Twilight
What?
Princess. It's the only one.
2009 game.
Okay, I haven't played this one, but does it have a train in it?
Yes.
No, it was a Phantom
Spirit Tracks.
Spirit Track.
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's
Yeah.
another of those stupid
Zelda
ones.
dies in Spirit
God
What?
damn it.
Ramon, I guess we've been missing the darkest one.
Nah,
of them
dude,
all.
I know. I'm like, when she said that, it was like perpetual, like every game. I'm like, what? And Breath of the Wild is the
No.
closest one because she goes missing, but it's like, okay, like more missing.
That one sounds dark. Spirit
Yeah.
Tracks.
All right,
Yeah.
Carlos 2, Ramon, you got 0 because we
It
didn't
was-
count the first one. We didn't count the first one. Remember?
Why
you
not?
said not to count it.
You said
Oh, I was
nothing.
kidding because I didn't know how we were gonna answer. You never said that rule, so I answered first. So
I'm confident you're gonna beat me, so I'm not gonna give
hey,
you.
Okay.
Carlos is winning by giving me half-ass answers, and I don't get the one answer that I actually had. This was rigged, man. You
Welcome
thought our
back to the
election was a fun
podcast.
time. All right. I'll go. I'll see.
Welcome
I'll
to your
catch up.
hazing ritual. No.
This sounds like that game, The Floor, man. This is terrible. So I promise I'm an expert, and then you're like, "Fuck." No, I'm kidding.
Okay. You're above the clouds and you help those
Skyward.
below.
Skyward Sword. Who said it? Who said it first?
I just said Skyward if it makes sense, but
Yeah.
he said
So
the
that's
whole
a-
thing.
So Ramon started saying it, but Carlos said it
Let's
faster.
finish it
So he finished faster. So I
with
don't know.
vigor.
I'll let Sylvia decide who.
No, give it to Carlos. He did. I said it too. I started it but I just said Skyward and I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Carlos got 3.
okay.
All right. This is an easy one for both of you. An imp from another dimension rides your back while you save
Twilight
both
Princess?
worlds.
Twilight Princess.
Dang, Carlos.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's 4.
That's why you don't get high before coming to this podcast. Bro.
What? Who did?
What?
This is
No,
not-
just kidding.
This is not the Joe Rogan experience.
I don't know. It's just Sal's bald, man. Let's go.
Okay. I will say that a temple is sucked underground and a giving tree
Oh,
helps restore the
Ocarina
seasons.
of Time.
No.
No,
No. Oh.
you're close.
Is
Oh.
it a Link's Awakening? No, it's not a Link's Awakening. Is it a Link's Awakening? Link's Awakening?
There is a Link's Awakening, but it's not this one.
A Link to the Past?
You were correct with your
Yeah.
first 2 words.
Link Awakening?
No.
No, Ramon.
A Link? Oh,
Wait,
No,
not
he
the
wasn't.
Ocarina of Time? No, I said
no,
the
it's
Ocarina
not.
of Time.
It's not Ocarina.
No, oh, you're. Never mind. Yeah, my bad.
Ah. It's
What the
like
hell?
it's like the first Zelda game. Zelda?
Oh,
Zelda?
Legend in
No.
Time, or what was the name of it?
No.
Like the 1980s Zelda.
I don't remember the name of that. A Link in Time.
2001 Nintendo Switch, technically Game Boy, Nintendo 3DS.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's another fucking one of those games. Yeah, nope.
Is it the
It's
diminishing
the first one that
cap?
she listed.
Is it the diminishing cap?
No.
Oh, nah.
No. Oh man.
No, those are hard, man. I don't know. None of those.
Yeah, I know there's like the Game Boy. I don't know why I didn't
Okay.
play any of the Game Boy ones.
No.
Okay.
I just no.
Link can manipulate the 4 seasons, allowing him to solve puzzles on his quest.
So that's
Four
the 4
seasons.
seasons I was trying to like.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 seasons.
Is that the name
Oracle
of
of
the game? 4
Seasons.
seasons?
Yes.
Oh my
Well-
god.
Oracle of Seasons.
Yeah, Oracle of Seasons, but we'll
Oracle
give it to
of Seasons.
Ramon. That was close
Yeah,
enough.
finally get one, even though it should be a 2. Not kidding.
All right. A ghost ship, a ghastly blade. Is it a dream come true?
Not the finish cap.
You're picking out the hard ones.
Yeah,
I
not a
am.
finish cap. Well, that's good. At least she knows.
I'm trying to make it hard for them.
Yeah, that's hard.
Because I haven't heard of like half of these.
Can I
And this is
can I
one
ask
of them.
something?
I researched.
Are these like some of these like before the 90s? Like some of these stuff. Like
No,
there's
they're
two of
not.
them.
No, all of
Yeah,
them
that's
happened
what
in 2000s. This one's from
2000?
Just picking all
2007.
the.
Yeah.
The
This one's
no.
Nintendo DS and Wii U.
Yeah, see, motherfucker.
I
Well,
feel like I
Wii U
said-
now, they were on
The
Nintendo
console
DS.
that everyone had.
No.
Yeah,
But
me too.
these weren't out for Wii U
Yes.
during that time. These were re-added to like Wii U towards the end.
Yeah.
And fuck Wii U.
Yeah, I feel like
But they were on DS.
like I
didn't-
said
I
all the
didn't
ones
play
that like
DS, though.
I know of. There are like
Yeah.
weird titles. And
I-
there's
yeah.
half four
Yeah.
seasons.
The game's story follows that of the Windwalker, focusing on a series of main protagonists, Link's journey to save his friend Tetra from the story's main antagonist, Bellum.
Damn.
And this is
no.
why you don't deviate from the Triforce story. Let's just say it sounds too confusing. Okay.
So this is Phantom Hourglass.
Oh, I have heard of Phantom
yeah.
Hourglass. I have heard of Phantom Hourglass.
Okay.
Damn.
Bro,
Ramon,
you
we
gotta
really
This
do
is
get-
that.
okay.
This is
They got us. This is like
Yeah.
Give him an easy one.
slow
There's
responses,
only-
but that didn't excuse with those games, man. That just sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'll give you another hard one. There's only 2 pieces of Triforce, and Ganon is wreaking havoc on Hyrule.
Okay, that one of them has to be like a Link's Awakening or a Link to the Past. No.
Twilight Princess? When I always said Twilight Princess.
Oh, it's
Not Breath of the Wild. Breath of
what's
the
the new-
Wild.
What's
No?
the newest one called?
No, that's Tears of the Kingdom. That's
Tears
not
of
that
the
one.
Kingdom.
Either.
I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom.
But that's literally like the freaking premise to all of them.
But he
The
already
fuck?
has 2 pieces. Are we going back to the Wind Waker? No, right?
No, you already said when we
Jerks.
Yeah.
Jerks. It's all rigged.
That was the first one we
Okay.
did.
By you
I thought
guys.
this one was gonna be easy.
Yeah.
What is it?
I thought this one was easy too.
Yeah.
Is it Ocarina of Time?
No.
No, but that's a
If you guys want to pass it, that's fine. But when we say the name, you're
dude.
gonna
What
feel
other games
dumb.
have we like? Well, I mean, we haven't said all of them, but
Is
yeah.
it yeah, I mean, no, I don't know. What is it?
The Legend of Zelda.
Oh my goodness! Like
So like the original?
Legend of Zelda.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
all?
Like there's 2 from like the ninth. Yeah, like
but
the
that's
2
it.
original
Link to the
ones,
Past
yeah.
and Legend of Zelda, and it's just like, yep, that was one of them.
Okay.
So Link to the Past. I'm kidding.
I will give you an easy one. I hope. Find instruments and Mario cameos to awaken a trippy whale.
Oh, the Link's Awakening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
nice, Ramon.
Yeah.
You played that one.
Yeah.
Was that
If you
the
wanna borrow it.
remake?
Yeah, that's the remake. I have the remake for the Switch. That's like the one
Okay.
that plays just like Echoes of Wisdom, where
I
it's
heard.
like
I
cutesy.
wanna, yeah.
You can borrow it, you guys, because
Dude, let me.
yeah, Elena
Yeah.
will love it. So I got you.
Okay. A princess has a dream, and you lose 7 hours of your life.
Oh, Breath of the Wild,
No.
Tears of the
Tears of
Kingdom.
the Kingdom?
No.
Okay. I think there's a Zelda game that I'm missing where he plays a violin. Does this game have Link
Not
playing
the
a
Finish
violin?
Cap. Finish Cap is that one that
No.
hasn't been up?
There's no finish cap.
Minish
Cap.
Cap. Minish Cap.
Is
Oh,
there a
yeah,
game where
there's
they-
a Minish
Oh,
Cap, but
there's
it's not
one,
this
there's
one.
Minish
yeah.
Cap. I don't know. Yeah, but no. 7. I guess it's 100 years from Breath of the Wild. I'm just guessing, but
I feel like, yeah.
Hyrule Warriors.
It's a
Oh,
very
yeah.
popular one.
What do you mean a very popular one?
Like
It.
A Link to
I
the Past.
played this one.
he
A
played
Link to
it.
the Past.
No, I
Not a
played
Link
this
to the
one.
Past?
Say the description again?
A princess has a dream, and you lose 7 years of your life.
Is it Ocarina of Time? Because you
Yeah.
go forward
Yeah.
in time. Okay. And you lose
Mhm.
7 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
like your
Carlos
little-
wins.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
That's
He
5 to
does,
2.
Those were some tricky
Or
ones,
5
man.
to 3.
Those
I
are
Yeah.
realized it
Good ones.
said we need to play some of these Game Boy games. and-
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
no lie. I thought you guys have played every single
No,
Zelda game
no.
that ever existed.
Man,
I
I
only
told you
did.
that I do bad descriptions for a purpose because then it's hard for you to guess what it is.
No, I loved it. I loved it. I just
Especially
wanted
with
to
Zelda,
compare it.
because a lot of them have like a lot of similar aspects.
Yeah,
So there's
yeah. Oh, no, yeah.
one of the ones that initially you mentioned, like you have to have multiplayer to play as the 4 different links, and I know that was one of the reasons why I didn't play it because I think you have to like have other people join you in the adventure. So I don't
And
know
they
how
can
it
own
works.
the game too.
Yes, and I think that's why I didn't even try bothering with that one. The one with the train, that's the one that I've always wanted to try. And now that you mentioned like
Spirit
Zelda's
Tracks?
dead in that,
Yeah.
kind of makes me interested in that.
But that's why I didn't play the Game Boy ones and all those that way, is because they all feel like Echoes of Wisdom and Link's Awakening, because they're all just kind of like way more simpler. And I don't know, I'm just so stuck on the dark gritty ones.
Yeah,
but
I think sometimes the problem with the Zelda games too is like you have very repetitive items, and like sometimes you do gotta switch them up, like really get creative with the weapons they give you to make it interesting.
Yeah,
that's what kind of made Zelda good and bad, because you were using the echoes to battle. But,
yeah.
you know,
I don't know.
nothing beats a boomerang sometimes.
Nope.
Well, before we end, Ramon, I have one last Zelda question for you here.
Oh,
and I hope you get it right. Okay.
Oh no.
Just guess which game this is.
What?
A sword breaks, you get an informative
Tears of the
hat.
Kingdom. Wait, what? Don't interrupt, damn it.
A sword breaks, you get an informative hat.
Diminishing cap?
Yeah, finally, my God, diminished cap.
The diminished cap?
Yes, so many times. I want you to
but it's just funny, because in Tears of the Kingdom, the sword breaks, but then I stopped listening like an idiot, and then, yeah, there you go, so...
That's funny.
Damn.
Well,
There's so many of these games I never even heard.
That was fun, huh?
Yeah. No, diminished cap, diminishing. I kind of like that title better.
And becoming less of a hat.
Harry Potter.
Becoming more of a miser.
Carlos was right all along.
Dude, I should have never wrote Sasuke Iceland on my ballot. What was I thinking?
I sent you that TikTok, right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Have you been watching Bleach, Ramon, at all?
No, the first 3 episodes I gotta catch back up.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah, it's
better to binge it.
It's been building.
You guys let me know if it's worthwhile, and a couple things.
I will let you know on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you for coming back for this episode. Hopefully in future episodes, we miss you, as does everyone else. So.
We don't miss you as much as you think, though.
Okay. I'll see you in a couple months.
Okay. I totally miss you.
I miss being here, if you want me or not. So carry my picture next time, since I still can't be here all the time.
Yeah. Ramon's that girlfriend that the moment you just tell yourself, don't text her, you slowly forget about her. So
nah, you just text me, baby. I got you.
All right,
too bad Sophie has your lips.
You up?
Okay, backstory to that, Ramon. I'm sorry. You know what? Before we even end this, listen. I burned my lips once drinking coffee. Okay,
oh,
and I had mentioned it to both of them before we started recording, because I was saying it's very difficult for me to talk right now, and Carlos just zones in and he goes, "Your lips look like Ramon's."
So, and then I brought up the fact that back in the day, there was people would do duck faces, and you were one of the kings of always making the duck
I have
faces.
big lips, and I hide it with my mustache, but they're big. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna say anything bad. I'll enjoy my lips. So hey, you should take that as a compliment. There you go.
I didn't take it negatively.
My daughter would be so lucky. But at least somebody.
I didn't take it negatively. I just wasn't expecting it, and then knowing that he's looking at your lips and my lips, I just
I'm not the one constantly bringing up your hands on your chubby hands on the text message.
I have fat hands. It's fine.
Which is why she has round nails.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Instead of big, long, blocky blocks.
Yeah, I have to have the round nails to make them look skinnier. See? All right, I'll see you guys later.
All right,
bye.
Toodles.